Hello and welcome to another video. In this one, I'm really excited to show off this month's haul because I'm going to save it to the end of the video, but I added my holy grail to my collection of something that I've been wanting in my collection for many years, and it finally happened. So I'm really excited to show that off, but first, we're going to kick it off with some movies as well as some other stuff that I've been adding to my collection lately. Let's get ready. Let's jump in. So kicking things off, I was able to participate in the 3 for $33 sale on a number of 4Ks that Amazon did a promotion on. I would have liked to have gotten a copy of Twisters, but unfortunately that one went out of stock before I could grab it. But I'm still really happy about the rest of the stuff I added to my collection. First, we have American Graffiti on 4K. This is one that I just checked out in the past year and a half for the first time. I'd never seen it before, and I just thoroughly enjoyed the movie. I thought it was a very immersive movie, just kind of a really cool throwback, just really sweeps you off your feet and puts you in the time period of, I think, the 60s that this takes place in. So just a really fun, really immersive movie. This recently came out on 4K. I heard it has some generally mixed reception on the 4K transfer, but I'm really looking forward to checking this one out again. I haven't had a chance to yet, but I definitely plan to in the coming weeks. But that is one that I'm very excited I was able to add to the collection through that sale, because I think that was like a $18, $19 one, and with the 3 for $33 sale, I was able to get each of these three here for $11 each. So next we have Megan. This is one that's been sitting on my wish list for quite some time now. I've been meaning to grab it on at least the past Prime Day and Black Friday, and I just never pulled the trigger on it. But this time ended up pretty much being that same Black Friday price, and I decided to go ahead and grab it, since this was the one that I was going to grab Twister on, but it just wasn't in stock, or Twisters. So I ended up going with Megan instead. But I'm still really excited to have this one in the collection. I really enjoyed it the first time I checked it out. I believe I watched the regular PG-13 version of this movie the first time I watched it, so I definitely want to check out this unrated edition as well. It's one that I think will be a fun, kind of having two different versions of the movie. I always think it's more interesting when they do PG-13 versus unrated rather than R and R-rated, because there's not as much of a difference. So we'll see how much I enjoyed the unrated version of this one as well. I did really like it. I thought it was a cool kind of play on a mix of sci-fi, AI with a little bit of horror in there too. So definitely one I'm happy to have in the collection and looking forward to revisiting. This next one, that was a first-time watch for me. I blind bought it. So that's the Sugarland Express, which I think actually just recently came out on 4K, not very long ago. But I had watched the recently released Music by John Williams documentary, and obviously they talked about a majority of his films and the scores that he's done for it. And this was one of his first collaborations with Steven Spielberg, right off the heels of Jaws. And so this might have been before Jaws. I don't remember. But this is pretty much Spielberg's first theatrically released movie, I believe. And I don't know. I might be wrong on this. I'm fuzzy on the details. But I'd never seen this movie before. I heard it was a really good collaboration between John Williams and Steven Spielberg. Seemed like a cool premise of kind of this, getaway type car chase across the state type thing. So I thought it was really fun. I watched the movie. I really enjoyed it. The music was really good. I thought it was a good story. I've heard it's very embellished as far as the true events that it's supposedly based on, but it was still a really fun time and a really good movie. Definitely one that I will revisit again in the future. Is another one that kind of just sweeps you off your feet and sets you in this time period that you just kind of get to be fully immersed in. So I just thought it was a really good time. Good story, message, characters, themes all around. So that's everything I grabbed on the 3 for $33 sale on Amazon. After that, I have a number of books I added to the collection. Normally I just share, movies and some posters and stuff on here, but I'm trying to get into reading more, and not just reading, traditional books more and more, but I've gotten into reading some graphic novels, some manga stuff as well. So I ended up getting the first two Spy Family mangas in the collection, so haven't had a chance to kick these ones off yet and jump into reading them, but I love the anime series. The movie's really good as well, but it's one that I've been considering jumping into reading, so I went ahead and got the first couple of ones of those as a little bit of a belated Christmas present. And then I also got into Frieren. So these are the first 5 volumes of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, probably one of my favorite anime series. I've heard the manga is fantastic as well. So I've so far read the first 2 books in the series. I still need to read 3, 4, and 5. I'm in the middle of a couple other books at the moment, so I'm going to finish off those ones first, and then I'll jump back into Frieren and start off Spy Family as well. So those are some books that I've been adding to the collection as well that I'm really looking forward to and having. And then before I jump into my Holy Grail, I do want to show, with some leftover Christmas money, I got an upgraded 4K player for the movie room down here. So I've had one of the Sony X700s, I think it is, for a couple of years now. And while I've really liked the player overall, it's very, basic, stripped down, exactly what I need. I don't need the smart features and all that kind of stuff. I've had a number of skipping and freezing issues on 100 gig 4K discs, and it's really become frustrating, especially when you're watching a movie with people and have them over, and just when it freezes in the middle of it, it's always kind of frustrating. So this is a recently released one that just came to the US. I think it's been in the UK for some time. It's the Panasonic DB UB450PK. So it's one that supposedly, and I've tested it myself now with the discs that I had some issues with, doesn't have any of those skipping issues that the Sony player had. It's also very, stripped down basic, no smart features, anything like that, which I don't need. And it's actually significantly cheaper than that Sony X700 player that I've had for a while now. So I was really happy to go ahead and just grab this one, pull a trigger on it with some extra Christmas money that I had left over, along with some money I had for myself, and be able to, not necessarily upgrade the player. I think this one does have added Dolby Vision that my other player did not have. I don't have a TV with Dolby Vision at this point, but whenever I do eventually upgrade, it'll be nice to have this player capable of doing that for the discs that I have. So really happy to have upgraded the player this past month as well. And then finally, I'm going to show this off as best I can. I got my Holy Grail for my collection. So this is something that I've been wanting in my collection for a long time. It's my biggest regret as far as something I didn't pick up when I had the chance, but at the time I didn't have the money for it, so I didn't pull the trigger on it. And that is the Ultimate Middle-earth Collector's Edition. So this is all 6 of the regular Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies. So you got the Hobbit trilogy here with Unexpected Journey, Desolation of Smaug, and Battle of the Five Armies, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, and Return of the King. So this is all 6 of those movies on DVD, and then the Blu-rays for the theatricals and the extended cuts of them, as well as all of the appendices and bonus features as well. I think it's like a 30 disc set or something like that. So I'm now up to like 9 or 10 copies of Lord of the Rings in my collection. I definitely need to do an updated Lord of the Rings collection video, but this is something that went on sale on a Prime Day a number of years ago. And at the time I didn't have the money because I, didn't have too decent of a job. So I didn't grab it. But my brother and my brother-in-law had. So every time I go over to my brother's house, I'm always jealous a little bit, kind of looking at it. But I was something I said, if I ever have the chance, I'm definitely going to grab it again. But my brother-in-law, who had grabbed this set, decided he wanted to be a huge blessing to me. He didn't really do as much with it as he had initially planned to with this set. So he, after I put the bird in his ear a little bit of like, hey, if you ever want to sell that set, let me know. So he eventually wore down a little bit and wanted to be a huge blessing to me, so he let me buy it off of him. So thank you, Steven, so much, my brother-in-law, for giving me the opportunity to finally add my Holy Grail to my collection, to be able to have this ultimate collection of Middle-earth as some of my favorite movies of all time, to be able to have just the coolest collection of them. So this comes in, as you can see, a big wooden crate. All of these different sets are in booklet type packaging. There's a book in here as well with sketches, quotes, some concept arts, all that kind of stuff. It's an amazing, amazing, beautiful set. I'm thinking about doing like a really deep dive breakdown of the set. It's really heavy, so I got to put it down. This thing weighs like 5 pounds. So I'm really happy to have this in the collection. Finally, like I said, it's the Holy Grail, the something that I've always wanted in my collection since the day I saw it. He was super gracious and sold it to me for what he paid, that sale price, years ago, because I knew it was something I'd never be able to buy brand new at the current price of this set. So thank you once again, Steven, for being willing to sell this to me and being able to add it to my collection. I'm super grateful and thankful for it, and I'm really happy for just everything I was able to add to the collection over these past couple of months through some Christmas gifts, as well as some stuff I've been able to add to myself through deals and stuff. So thank you for checking this video out. Thank you for sticking around to the end. I will see you in the next one.